It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
From a bird's eye view, Bernadette watched the three armed men enter the compound in a tactical formation. They believed to be very close to their target, unaware that their approach had been monitored all along. The men moved carefully through shadowy hallways and debris-filled rooms until they reached a T-junction where her ambush was lying in wait. A glint of metal, 6 legs quickly propelling the waiting drone from one side of the junction to the other. 2 blazing stars are born as the dual repeaters vomit forth a screen of bullets shrouding the man in death. One of them falls, to never rise again, as the drone already moved out of line of sight. Proving their experience, one of the men sprints forward, ignoring his fallen ally and quickly closing the distance to the retreating drone. A large two-handed sword, propelled by artificial muscles, swings forward, ready to cleave the drone apart, but under Bernadette's guidance the drone dodges back, and one of the legs protects the valuable head of the drone. The large blade cuts deep into the limb, severing artificial muscles and wires, but nothing more. Not good enough. He draws back the blade, ready to strike again, and not to give the drone any chance to gain distance once over. But his efforts were in vain. As a second drone rushed through the gloom of the corridor, colliding with him and knocking him on the floor. Metal jaws and razor-sharp claws drive into the chest and neck of the man, tearing flesh and breaking bones with ease. The screaming soon stopped, and the hound started to move again, in search of the last target. The last man was already running as fast as his artificial limbs allowed it. As soon as the second drone appeared, he had turned tail, and he had made it into the open, navigating the debris field that was once an industrial complex. He was surely fast, but Bernadette never lost sight of him, as one of her drones still circled over the complex. With a mental command, a small object quickly accelerated from a nearby rooftop, the sound of tiny propellers filling the air. The small ball raced towards the desperate man and catching him with ease. A blinding flash of light engulfed his figure, and thunder echoed through the silent ruins. Slowly rising from her camouflaged position, Bernadette sent a short message to her employer. Contract completed. It should not come as a surprise to anyone that a world, at least a few decades ahead of Earth, sees widespread use of drones. But before we go any further, we have to clarify what we are talking about, because drone can mean a lot of things. On Celtara, drones are half-autonomous machines, sitting between fully manual controlled and AI controlled. Even so, the technology for AI weapons exists in Celtara since the Great War. All AI are barred from controlling weapons exactly because of that war. As such, drones are highly sophisticated weapons, mostly controlled by software, but need command and trigger control through a human, meaning a drone's software can work out how to move and attack a target, but a human needs to give the command to do so and also be responsible for all consequences. There are generally 2 types of drones, support and combat. The first are mainly for gathering information in various ways or giving you a hand in dispatching your enemies. The later are high-tech weapons designed to kill humans. These weapons are not just a DPS increase to add to your character, but, depending on quality level, a force that can outmatch your own performance. No matter the type of drone, to control them, you need to have at least some basic understanding of drone use skill and the tech to do so. The traditional option for this is a workstation, a specialized computer with the needed Wi-Fi protocols to command your drones. This means you have to carry around that piece of hardware, and if you want to control your drones, you have to set up your workstation and hope nobody shoots you in the back while you do so. The second option is what made drones as common as they are today. The Hive upgrade for the uplink implant allows the user to control drones without cumbersome hardware in a 100-meter radius. While each active drone does sustain 1 action point and 3 concentration, it allows the user to be far more mobile and active in spite of it. Drones that are just in follow mode do not consume any of your mental resources, but are also as useless as a pile of bricks. Active drones act like any other character. They have their own AP, RA and dice for tests. You can find all their stats on the drone description in the appendix. But why don't we look at some examples? Let's start with the Bum, the one drone everybody makes fun of, but also everybody uses. It is a basic quadcopter for scouting and gathering information. It has as good as no defense, and if it ever gets hit even by a simple pistol shot, there is a very good chance that it will just explode or fall apart. On the good side, it has very good dodge dice, so you can avoid a lot of attacks, especially if you keep your distance. And keeping your distance is a good idea anyway, because it doesn't have a real stealth upgrade, so if you're too close, enemies might just hear it, the propellers. But if you keep it out of sight or a bit further away in areas where there's some noise, you might be able to observe your enemies for a long time. It is also comparably fast, so you will be able to keep up at least with enemies that are on foot or in a more difficult terrain where they can't drive cars, for example, with full speed. Overall, the Bum is very basic, but it does the job very well and it doesn't cost a lot of money. Let's move on to the lowest quality combat drone that exists, the Ratte. This drone is as basic as it gets. It is basically a gun strapped onto a walking drone, and you cannot expect it to perform massively well. It has not very good dice in anything. It has some defense, so it will not just fall apart from a few pistol shots, but do not expect it to hold out in heavy fire. But this doesn't mean that the Ratte is a bad drone. The very opposite. It is very cheap for a combat drone, and it comes with a extremely powerful shotgun strapped to its back. This gun is easily capable to dispatch in one hit most early game enemies and put in a good position, like a flanking position or cover. This drone can wreak havoc in your enemies. It's also considered small. This allows it to be even less easy to hit, and overall this drone allows you to bring surprising amount of firepower if you take care of the drone. So have it be in the second line, or for example have a frontliner to draw fire away and let it flank around your enemies and take them out with a very massive shotgun. If we now move up in the quality level and go back to the support drones, we can take a look at the Wicht. The Wicht is basically the more high-tech, expensive version of the Bum and does the same job in general, but is much better. It is improved in basically every way. It has far better sensors. It comes with an infrared sensor. It is also silent, so far harder to hear. It is still a tiny target. It is faster, and In addition, a massive upgrade is it comes with a transmitter. So you can place your Wicht in a good position and use it as a base of operation for your other drones to control them far further away than your normal, maybe 100 meter or whatever you can do. So the Wicht is spectacular for scouting, for gathering information, but also to allow you to strike with your drones from distances your enemy might not expect. You can basically be at 2 positions at the same time. On the downside, the drone is much more expensive, and it is still basically without any protection. If it ever gets hit, it will break. So keep it out of any combat as well as you can, and if you have to lean on your dodge dice for this drone. Let's finish this off with a real alpha predator, the Jaeger, a quality 7 assault drone. The Jaeger has tremendous strength, speed and armor. Anything less than dedicated anti-armor weapons or anti-drone weapons will not even slow the thing down. In close range combat it can tear a person apart. Even specialized melee fighters will have a hard time to keep up with its power. In addition, it has IR sensors to hunt targets in the dark, OD vision to protect its against ambushes or just people who try to bunch up on it. And it has surprising good mobility, not only the speed, but its jump height is massive. It can go over obstacles, it can move vertically in urban areas. It is overall just an absolute monster. But it comes also as a price from about baseline 5 million credits, and you will normally only see the thing in the hands of really experienced users. Beyond your hardware, your personal skill and abilities in drone use play a great role in how well you will perform. So let's have a short look at the abilities that you can gain from the drone use skill. Starting out with deep control and its upgrades, it basically allows you to make your drone or drones much more powerful for the cost that you will basically give up your turn and your actions for it. But if you are controlling a very powerful drone, or maybe several drones, if you try to build a drone swarm, deep control and especially master control can make your drone so much more dangerous. Then a bit further we find total line of sight, which is just an absolute mind-boggling tactical ability. It allows you basically to get line of sight to your targets if your drones have line of sight of the target. This is a dream come true for anybody who likes to snipe or use other abilities from range and has problems to get a line of sight to them. It is perfect for ambushers and just for strong tactical combat. Encrypted signals makes your drones far harder to hack, which can be very useful depending on the circumstances, while lean protocol allows you to just have a wider control range, which can also be very good if you do not want to come too close to the combat, or if you want to have a higher range for your scouting drones. Then once you get to expert, you unlock something extremely powerful. This is PAT. It allows you to change and upgrade basically your drones beyond even the specs that the drone comes with. And these upgrades are very potent, but on the baseline you can only have one. If you get PAT Plus, you can actually put more different ones on one drone, but it becomes harder and harder. And so really high engineering skills with hopefully some kind of very good place to make the modifications is absolutely important for this. The Guardian network is something very special. Not only gives it to your drones that they share basically the highest awareness score, which is amazing for watch duty, but also for hunting down targets, but it installs a Sentinel AI, which gives your drones a passive awareness test against anything that is unusual or dangerous. So just put out your drones and they can easily protect your whole party from ambushes. Now, if we go to the even higher levels, we find stuff that can absolutely change your playstyle with drones. First, personalized protocols reduces the con cost per drone, which allows you instantly to field more drones or have a good drone out and have more concentration to spare for other abilities depending on your playstyle. Body extension is the point where you can basically replay your dreams of a World of Warcraft hunter. You can do your full turn with all your actions, whatever you want to do, and you still have a full power drone with you, but only one drone and you have to choose it. The other option here is parallel processing, and this is the option that completely unlocks your ability to go for a drone swarm. It removes the AP cost for an active drone but makes the con cost higher. So if you build your character with high con in mind, you can get to 5, 4, even 6 drones with enough investment that you can control at the same time. And for the last thing, the capstone skill, and yet it moves, it is a nightmare for your enemies, because even if they in theory take down your drone, you can make the drone go on further. It is particularly good for this version where you have one drone that you have with you with the body extension option, because then this drone, if they don't really tear it apart limb by limb, it will keep going. It will crawl over the floor and it will bite and cut or shoot, whatever. So absolutely massive with the right build. After all the good news, we also need to talk about the weaknesses of drones. For one, it is a damn expensive hobby. You will only be able to unlock the full potential of drones once you have a lot of cash incoming, and even then you need to make sure not to overspend. Combat drones are also in general large, and you have to keep the logistics in mind. You will also not be allowed to bring your drones everywhere. Showing up with a Jaeger might look imposing, but try to get into a nightclub with it. It ain't gonna work. Drones are also vulnerable to certain attacks. Besides armor piercing, EMP weapons can shut down your drones quickly. With your worst matchup, the charge manipulation gifted, who can potentially turn your whole drone army into scrap metal if you blindly charge in. So, instead of thinking of drones as a one solution to all problems, trying to find out which drones would be a solution to a specific problem. A gift that might be scary, turning your Jaeger into a little kitty, but a Bertha can snipe the bastard from a kilometer away, no problem. If you found these videos interesting and want to learn more, visit the website or Discord server, and don't forget to do the YouTube stuff like subscribe and comment, all in the name of the almighty algorithm. Well, until next time.